The woman was getting ready for a job interview, but the heel of her shoe suddenly fell off. She picked it up from the ground and adjusted her mind. She went to the interview with a confident stride, and she managed to get the interviewer's attention. She didn't ask professional questions. She asked the woman to show her smile. The woman complied and smiled her sunny smile, just when she thought the interview would end in failure. Early the next morning, she received a call of acceptance. She was surprised. The woman's name was Jurang. It was her dream to work at the 5-star King Hotel. But in the middle of her internship, Jurang met the examiner from the day of the interview. She was the director of the King's Hotel. She was impressed by Jurang's smile that day, so she asked her questions about the hotel service industry. She didn't realize that newcomer Jurang could answer them in Korean and English. It was obvious that she was well prepared for the job, and the director was very satisfied. So she changed her status from trainee to full-time employee. She was transferred to the hotel lobby. With her smile and sincere service attitude, she became the most friendly employee of the King's Hotel. That day she was working at the front desk as usual, but suddenly, she had a stomachache. Just as she was about to go to the restroom, Jurang was told by the supervisor that he had to go to the deluxe suite to get a cell phone for a guest. Though Jurang repeatedly said she was in a hurry, the supervisor asked her to finish her work first. She had no choice but to hold it in and hurry to the guest room. Just as she got her cell phone back, and was about to head back, her stomach started screaming again. Then she saw the toilet, and the guest suddenly came back to the room to get his papers. As she was running to the bathroom, she missed the guest perfectly. After she emptied the stomach, she found a different remote control on the table. Her curiosity prompted her to press the button on it. She found out that she could adjust the transparency of the bathroom. At that moment, the guest in the room also got the file. He thought his cell phone had been delivered to the front desk, so he didn't pay much attention. At that moment, he didn't know that Jurang was having a good time in the bathroom. Just as he was about to leave, he realized something was wrong. The transparency of the glass was different when he went to the bathroom. When he went up to check it out, he found Jurang sitting in the bathroom. The waitress secretly took a dump in the presidential suite bathroom, and she also adjusted the transparency of the glass at will. The next moment, a guest suddenly appeared. In order to ease the embarrassment, she used her foot to grab the remote control on the floor. When she retrieved the remote control, she immediately adjusted the glass and flushed the toilet, but the embarrassment she felt inside made her ashamed to meet the customer. Since she still had his cell phone, she said she'd bring it to the front desk later, but the customer refused. As he pushed open the door, Jurang fell into his arms. She felt embarrassed and disrespectful, so she apologized. The customer didn't choose to pursue the matter, but asked her to return his cell phone. At that moment, he seemed to recognize Jurang and asked her if she knew him. She shook her head no, and left in a hurry, but the customer was still right behind her, and even gave her a hint. Then she remembered that, when she was a trainee at the hotel, she received a tip from a customer wearing a tiger t-shirt. When she opened the envelope, the contents were horrible, and there was a room card inside. The more she thought about it, the angrier she got, so she went to talk to him, but she didn't realize that the person wearing the tiger t-shirt wasn't the same customer as before. Since he was wearing headphones, he didn't hear her when she greeted him. Furious, Jurang suddenly adjusted the speed of the treadmill, and he fell on his face. When he couldn't keep up, Jurang went up to him, scolded him and called him a pervert. Then she returned the envelope. Without listening to his explanation, she left the scene in a hurry. Remembering what had happened earlier, she realized that the man in front of her was the customer who had fallen down that day. He demanded an apology, but she only apologized for what had happened earlier, but refused to apologize for what had happened before. She left with a straight face. At that moment, she didn't know that she had offended her boss, because this guest was the new head of the hotel, Kwon, and he's the brother of the chairman of the board. During the welcoming ceremony, Jurang was chosen as the flower delivery girl as the kindest employee. When Kwon appeared, she realized who he was, so much so that she made a point of hiding her face while delivering the flowers, and that's how she caught Kwon's attention. He pushed the bouquet away and found Jurang hiding. They never expected to meet again in such a way. Then Kwon found her again. He was particularly concerned about the accusation that he was a pervert. After questioning her, he found out that she had accused him of being a pervert based on a tiger t-shirt without checking it out. She was so ashamed that she smiled to hide her embarrassment. But this made Kwon feel disgusted. He said, "If you smile again, I'll fire you." Realizing the seriousness of the situation, Jurang apologized profusely. After seeing her sincerity, Gwon didn't pursue the matter any further. Afterwards, Jurang accompanied Gwon to a promotional event abroad because she was the hotel's most gracious employee, though he was reluctant to do so, but he had no choice but to accept the order of the chairman father. While waiting at the airport, Gwon was instantly surprised by Jurang's beautiful outfit. Her youthful and energetic appearance had captivated Gwon, so much so that he didn't even realize when Jurang greeted him. In order to alleviate his embarrassment, Gwon purposely criticized Jurang for coming too late. He asked her to help him with his luggage, but he didn't expect her to dodge him, and the suitcase hit a passerby. When she was asked about it, she told him that the suitcase was Gwon's. Then, like a coward, she left in a hurry. He left Gwon to face the situation alone, but he wasn't panicking at all. After apologizing, he was going to settle the matter with money. He was going to teach him a lesson, but when he saw $1 million check, his attitude immediately changed 180 degrees, seeing that the two were hiding in the shadows. Gwon had a vengeance. When he got off the plane, he had a special supercar to receive him. While Jurang and his colleague were secretly happy that they could be a part of the fun, they were told to find their own way to the hotel. Then he drove off in his sports car in style. Jurang had no choice but to take a taxi. During the live broadcast of the promotion, Gwon appeared in a handsome suit. His handsome appearance also attracted Jurang. A man takes his girlfriend to an alumni party, but he went off alone to drink with his classmates. He left his girlfriend Jurang alone. At first, she didn't care. She thought he was just there to socialize. But after a long time, she realized that he was getting more and more excited. He didn't care about her feelings. This made her feel very concerned. Her boyfriend had told her before she came, had just come to show off and leave, but she didn't realize that he was being deceitful. He was totally absorbed in the party atmosphere. She was furious. Jurang chose to leave. When her boyfriend saw her, he went after her. The boyfriend went back to the bar to say goodbye to the alumni, but he was detained by his female classmates. Maybe it was a matter of honor. He started drinking again. When Jurang saw this scene, she was disappointed in her boyfriend's behavior. She didn't hesitate to leave. In fact, earlier, he took her on a hiking trip. He didn't take the cable car. He said walking was good for his health, but he took the lead. He left Jurang behind. He didn't even offer a hand. He didn't even notice the blood on her girlfriend's heel, even though she was already exhausted. But in order to make him happy, she climbed to the top of the mountain. But before she could enjoy the night view, he got a call from his classmate. He hung up. He asked Jurang to come down. He took her to hang their love lock. Jurang felt a little comforted, but he was supposed to throw the key out. But he threw the lock by mistake, and Jurang soon realized this. Just before they left, the key fell to the ground. It seemed to signal that their love was doomed. The boyfriend took Jurang to a class reunion. Then the scene at the beginning of the video happened. Thinking about her boyfriend's deceitfulness, Jurang's heart seemed to be very concerned. When she was out alone, Gwon was standing right next to her, but they didn't notice each other. The next day, Jurang was going to accompany Gwon on a business trip abroad. The white dress she wore instantly charmed Gwon. Jurang wanted to use the trip as an opportunity to take a break, but when she was about to shoot on location, Gwon walked in wearing a handsome suit. His handsome appearance also attracted Jurang. She had a feeling in her heart that his love. A man in a dapper suit walked into the meeting, and she was instantly smitten. She had no idea that Gwon was so handsome. In order to hide his love for him, Jurang could only pretend to be calm and work. As he watched her organizing the interview, Gwon started to mock her. Then the director gave the order to get ready to shoot. Jurang starts to prepare immediately, and Gwon took the opportunity to make fun of her. Gwon immediately took out his cell phone and searched the internet for Sohatan's hairstyle. It turned out to be a buffalo. By now, the shooting was already underway. Gwon has to stop for the time being to finish his work, but to his surprise, the content of the live interview was about him and his mother. Gwon was very concerned about it. He never said a word. He even left the broadcast. She was at a loss as to what to do. Luckily, the director reminded her in time. Jurang said that Gwon had urgent business to attend to. She had to stay and finish the broadcast alone, and her sunny, friendly smile caught the chairman's attention. In fact, Gwon is the son of a plutocrat, and he had never met his real mother since he was a child. That's why he was so reluctant to do this interview. Gwon knew it very well. It must be the sister of the chairman who is behind this. She wanted to make a fool of him in front of the public. After a short adjustment, Gwon went back to the live broadcast again. because he only wanted to fight for himself. When Kwon got the content of the interview, he realized that it was all about his mother. He threw it away in anger. He asked Jurang to accompany him to see the sea haze, because it was a live broadcast, and Kwon was her boss. She had no choice but to comply. When the broadcast was over, she was so angry that she argued with him. She said she could lose her job. But Kwon didn't think he'd done anything wrong. He didn't realize how hard it was for her to be an employee, and he didn't tell her that he didn't have a mother's love since he was a child. The two of them fell out, so much so that the next day, when they went out to sea, to shoot the hotel ingredients, Kwon was very reluctant. He was so angry that he threw the ingredients into the sea. The photographer had to go back to the hotel, but when they were leaving, Kwon, who was walking behind, was suddenly told by the captain that the boat was out of order. The captain suggested that they should go to Garbo Island to avoid the storm, although Kwon was reluctant to do so, but he had no choice but to accompany Jurang. But he turned out to be a coward. He was frightened by a hen that flew out in the middle of the road. Jurang kindly offered to let him go first. Kwon didn't refuse. To show he wasn't a coward, he started to act like a brave man in front of Jurang. But no sooner had he taken a few steps than he realized there was an old woman standing in the doorway. When Kwon woke up, first, he found the walls covered with spells, then he saw all kinds of weird masks. His heart began to tremble with fear. Turning around, he found the old woman sharpening her knife. She even smiled at him.